Radio star Jamie Theakston, 54, was diagnosed with early-stage laryngeal cancer last year. Jamie Theakston has shared his personal struggle with laryngeal cancer in a heartfelt chat with Davina McCall. The 54-year-old heart radio presenter was taken aback by his diagnosis of an aggressive form of the disease last September, having initially mistaken his symptoms for a simple sore throat. Fortunately, Jamie is now cancer-free, having undergone several operations to excise a cancerous growth from his vocal cords. On the Begin Again podcast, he recounted the profound impact of his diagnosis, which came as a stark contrast to the excitement of planning a family holiday. He said, "So, when I got my cancer diagnosis, it came as such a huge shock to me because it was so surprising, it just came as such a broadside because it had this sore throat for a while, and we were about to go on holiday. We're off to Japan. In fact, I think we were meant to be flying to Japan that day, and my wife said, you should go and see someone before we go, just to get some antibiotic to clear up your throat." Jamie sought medical advice from a specialist who, despite a kind demeanor, possessed what Jamie described as the worst bedside manner of any doctor had ever encountered. After examining Jamie's throat, the doctor immediately suggested it was probably cancer, prompting a series of diagnostic tests and scans. A few hours after the examinations, the radio DJ went off on a pre-planned holiday, all while awaiting his test results. Despite having an excellent time, he withheld the truth of his situation, carrying the burden alone for 2 weeks. "I didn't tell anyone," he said. "At that stage, I thought, well, it might not be cancer. So, there's no point really in saying." Jamie eventually received biopsy results, which verified he did indeed have early-stage cancer. He returned home and told his wife, Sophie Siegel, who was completely devastated. Tearing up, Jamie continued, "My mum had died of cancer about a year before. And so my youngest son, he was with me when I was told my mum had died from cancer, knew that you could die. And so, I told him that it was going to be fine and that he had nothing to worry about, and that was the hardest part." Following the diagnosis, Jamie went through surgery at the Princess Grace Hospital in central London. The initial response from doctors was hopeful, but it soon became clear that they could not ascertain if they had excised all of the cancer. The 54-year-old then faced a second surgery but suffered another setback as scar tissue grew over his vocal cords, impacting his voice. Consequently, Jamie needed a third surgery, although doctors warned they were nearing a point where he might lose his ability to speak permanently. He continued, "And so, that had now gone from being, I've got cancer that I should be able to live, to a situation where they've gone, well, we're now dangerously close to you not being able to talk, which is new." I was like, wow, I hadn't really factored that into the whole equation. Thankfully, Jamie's voice remains intact, and he returned to host Heart Radio Breakfast with Amanda Holden in January. On the day of his comeback, he told listeners, "Today is the 4-month anniversary of my cancer diagnosis. So it's been 4 months, and I've had enough of hospitals and operations, and it's just lovely to be back, and I've got some news for you. Because I can tell you that as of today, I'm cancer-free,